We're diving into the absolute biggest questions today. God, the soul, ghosts.
The light stuff.
Exactly. We're pitting, ancient faith against the very latest science fMRI scans, particle physics, neurobiology.
Right.
So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out which explanation holds up better. Are these things objective, external realities? Or are they incredibly complex simulations our own brains are running?
The materialist view.
The materialist view.
And what's so fascinating is that the boundary for the quote-unquote supernatural isn't fixed at all. It's a retreating horizon.
A retreating horizon.
Yeah, every time we aim our empirical tools at a mystery, the space for actual magic it shrinks.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's start with the cosmos, the big one. The modern go-to is the fine-tuning argument, the FTA.
Right.
The idea that the universe's fundamental constants seem perfectly calibrated for life to exist.
And when you say perfectly, the numbers are, well, they're absurd. Take the cosmological constant.
Energy density of a vacuum.
That's the one. Its precision is calibrated to 1 part in 10 to the power of 120.
I can't even picture that number.
Nobody can. To give you some context, it's like having a dial that stretches across the entire observable universe and setting it to the exact right spot, down to the width of a single atom.
And if it were off by just a hair?
A tiny bit larger, matter never clumps together, no stars, no planets, a tiny bit smaller, and the whole universe collapses back on itself almost instantly.
So that just screams design. It feels intentional.
It does. But the naturalistic rebuttal is the multiverse hypothesis.
Which solves the problem by just making infinite copies.
Exactly. And the scientific justification for it is the weak anthropic principle.
The selection bias idea.
That's it. We observe a fine-tuned universe for one simple reason. We couldn't exist to observe any of the other ones. It gets rid of the designer, but...
But you have to accept maybe infinite other dead universes. That's a huge trade-off.
It is.
Okay, so let's zoom in. From the cosmic scale right down into our own heads. The hard problem of consciousness. Why does any of this feel like anything? The extreme materialist view is illusionism. It basically says that consciousness, your sense of self, it's all just a clever user interface.
A story the brain tells itself. It's an efficient dashboard for survival, but it isn't, metaphysically real. Your you is a beautiful, useful trick.
That just feels so incomplete. I mean, can you even measure a self?
Well, that's where integrated information theory, or IIT, comes in.
Wait, so IIT is actually trying to put a number on the soul?
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Precisely. It argues consciousness isn't emergent, it's fundamental, and it measures it with a value called phi.
Phi.
If a system has the right kind of causal integrated structure, it has some phi, it has some consciousness, it's basically scientific panpsychism.
Suggesting consciousness is just another property of the universe.
Like spin or charge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but where the reductionist argument really wins is with things like ghosts and demons. So what's the physics of a haunting?
It's the physics of fear. Research found that infrasound sound waves below 20 hertz.
The stuff we can't hear but can feel?
Exactly. Specifically, 18.98 hertz. That is the resonant frequency of the human eyeball.
Wait, what?
The sound wave literally vibrates your eyeball.
So the ghost, it's not external. The dread, the shadowy figure, it's all being generated inside my own body.
That's what the evidence says. The vibration causes visual sneering, which your brain interprets as a shadow person, and it also creates this visceral feeling of dread. The ghost is an artifact of your own biology reacting to physics.
That is incredible. And possession, that has an even more terrifying medical mimic.
Oh, it does. Demonic possession has a chillingly exact parallel. Anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis.
An autoimmune disease.
Right, where the body attacks its own brain receptors. And the symptoms line up perfectly with historical accounts of possession aggression, bizarre, contorted posturing, even aphasia that sounds like speaking in tongues.
So you treat the disease and the demon vanishes.
You stop the biological cause, you stop the phenomenon. The paranormal is, it seems, overwhelmingly just physics and neurobiology we didn't understand yet.
Even near-death experiences.
They're chemically almost identical to a high-dose ketamine or DMT trip, the brain's final grand chemical light show. And exorcisms. They work because of a supercharged placebo, what the sources call the meaning response.
So in the end, science has pushed that horizon way back. We've swapped ghosts for physics, demons for biochemistry, and yet that fundamental mystery still feels untouched.
Exactly. We can explain the chemical soul, but we're no closer to explaining why there's a universe for that soul to exist in. The big why is still there.
Right.
And here's a final thought for you to chew on. There's this idea called cosmological natural selection. It suggests that universes reproduce through black holes.
Universes reproduce.
The theory goes that our universe is fundamentally optimized for one thing: making as many black holes as possible. And if all of life, all of consciousness, is just an accidental byproduct of a universe trying to have as many children as it can,
Wow.
does that make our reality more like a machine or more like a living reproductive organism? That's something for you to explore.